Hello, Willow House community. Let's talk about preconception, getting your body and your partner's body ready for conception, for that open to conception chapter. So, first thing, I'm going to give you about 5 tips to take away today. First tip number 1, track your cycle. Get to know everything there is to know about your cycle. This will take around 3 to 4 months so that you can take your temperature right first thing in the morning so that you can investigate your cervical fluid, like look at it. You can even put it in your fingers, see what kind of consistency it is, take notes in your phone, use an app, whatever works. Look at your period blood, look at the color, note the heavy days, note the light days, note if there's any clots or anything like that. Get to know everything there is to know about your cycle. We want to know the length of the cycle. Is it more like 27, 28 days, or is it more like 34, 35 days? How long does bleeding last? When is your heavy day? When is your light day? What does that look like? What is energy throughout the cycle? So that's going to take about 3 to 4 months. Okay. So be patient with yourself, get to know your cycle, and then start to embrace something called the fertility awareness method. This is so key because as women transition off hormonal birth control and you're getting to know your cycle again, we want to know, we want to have a birth control option. Fertility awareness method is to live in sync with your cycle, and it's a form of birth control that limits the intercourse days to non fertile days. People have been using this forever. So think about it, embrace it. The Fifth Vital Sign is a really great book to check out. And if you have any questions at all, be sure to reach out. BirthFit has a podcast that we did over on BirthFit with Lisa Hendrickson Jack, the author of The Fifth Vital Sign. So start there, take notes, embrace your cycle. It is truly the fifth vital sign, and it can tell you so much about your overall health. All right, the next thing I would say is to get a baseline like blood and hormone panels for you and your husband, boyfriend, partner, whoever it is you are mating with. You need, as a woman, you need to get a baseline of blood and hormone panels on or around day 3 of your cycle. And you also need to get like some more blood work and hormone panels around day 21 of your cycle. Day 3 will give us a baseline, like I said. Day 21 will give us insight as to like what things like progesterone are doing. So get some information there. And side note, this is just a snapshot and a moment of time, a window like into your life. This is not an end all be all. And by tracking your cycle, getting some blood and hormone panels, we're literally gathering data. And there's so much that you can do lifestyle wise simply to enhance and just alter some things about your cycle and to enhance your overall fertility and health and wellness. All right, the next thing, number three, I would say embrace a movement practice. Stop being sedentary if you're sedentary. Get moving, start walking every day, get outside, get some sunshine first thing in the morning. That's the best time actually to get vitamin D and like take the sunglasses off, let the sunshine get in your eyeballs. Um, the more you can like do the opposite of sitting, the better. So that is the same for you and your mating partner. If you need to park further away at the grocery store, if you need to walk 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, evening, do it. There's the Birth It Basics are online. They're free. They're on YouTube. Check those out. Incorporate those into your daily life. And then if you are a woman, train with us over at B Community as we train in sync with our cycle. That's a really great place to start. If you are a gentleman or you want some community in person, ask us here at Willow House. Each of us has tried out different communities, and we each train at different gyms in the New Braunfels area. So ask us. We've got resources. We've got personal training resources. We know yoga instructors, movement facilities, and we really want to help you get moving and stay moving again. So that's number 3. Number 4, obviously embrace nervous system chiropractic care. So this is like the first bullet point that involves outside support. The other 3 you can do on your own. You can go get your blood work done on your own. But this really, you need to seek out a nervous system based chiropractor to have on your wellness team to really optimize the function of your nervous system and therefore your reproductive organs prior to conception, throughout pregnancy, and it's going to help postpartum wise as well. So start doing that now. That's huge for you and your partner. And the last thing I would say is some soul work. Explore how you were brought into this earth, how you were brought earthside. What was your birth like? Was your mom induced? Were you just super fast? Labor started on its own. You came rapid fire into this world. Was labor long? What did the first hour or the first month look like in your world? Those are big things. Start discussing and getting to know your values, your belief systems, and your philosophy around health and wellness. Discuss that within yourself and then start having a conversation with your partner, your husband, your boyfriend, whoever. Because this is going to lay the foundation of parenting. So, some of the hardest decisions out there are start with conception. If you are meeting some obstacles on the conception journey, what's going to be like, how far are you both wanting to go? Do you want to take it to the assisted reproductive technology route, or do you want to stay more in the natural world, like, okay, chiropractic care, acupuncture, and then Mercier therapy? What does that look like? What's y'all's philosophies and beliefs around that? How much and how often do you want interventions during pregnancy? What do you want the birth experience to look like? I guarantee you both have different like visualizations of the birth experience. One of the first things I asked my now husband on our first date was, would you be okay with a home birth? And obviously we're married now, so he said yes. But, people come from, each of us have very different maps of the world. And so it's way, 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 I don't want to say easier, but it makes the discussion more like easier to digest, easier to come back to, more comfortable when you start having these conversations ahead of time. What are each of your philosophies around medicine and Western medicine? How do you feel about vaccinations? How do you feel about erythromycin? How do you feel about Pitocin after birth? How do you feel about circumcision? How do you feel about that whole first 2 weeks? Do you want anybody else holding baby? Do you want anybody else in the house? Do you want to stay home with baby? What's the parenting dynamic going to look like? These are all questions, reflections that need to happen. Start ahead of time to make it easier and more digestible for each of you. So we got 5 things to consider for in that preconception chapter: tracking your cycle and embracing the fertility awareness method, blood work and hormone panels for both. Like, stop blaming women. Like, it takes 2 to tango. Movement practice is number 3. Like, if you sit for an hour, walk for an hour. Like, start shaking it up a bit. Break your day up. Every hour, do 10 squats. Find a nervous system-based chiropractor. That's number 4. Number 5, do your soul work. Get to it. If you have any questions, let us know. I've been working with couples in the childbirth world. I've been a birth doula. I've been doing this since about 2010, 2011. Got lots of experience. Both Dr. Matt and Dr. Bria have a ton of experience as well. So we are here to support you, to serve you, to help you find resources. And we want you to make your own intuitively guided, informed choices about everything along the journey. And it starts preconception.